You're listening to Snippets from the Summit with your host, Scot McKay.
How's it going, gentlemen? This is your main man, Scot McKay, coming at you again with another Snippet from the Summit as part of the Mountaintop podcast from X&Y Communications. Today, I have something incredibly practical that you can start using when you talk to women out and about, starting today, if you'd like to. Matter of fact, I hope you will, because it's going to be powerful for you. It's a variation on what I've always called the half step. Now, see, I know a lot of you guys have some trepidation about going out, using warm levity to create safety and security in a woman, and maybe even observing that she likes you, but going full on and asking for the number, establishing that you're into her, setting up the date right then and there, that still feels a little bit intimidating to you. So what the half step has always been about is kind of sticking your toe in the pool before diving right in by saying, why do I find you so interesting? That's a classic half step question, right? And what it does is it causes her to answer you either in a way that deflects away from the question. In the case of disinterest, for example, she may go, I'm not really all that interesting, and, my friends are waiting and I have to go, versus her absolutely taking the question, hook, line, and sinker, jumping right on it and saying something like, well, because I'm so interesting and cute and lovable. Because then what happens is when she's selling you on her, what that means is there obviously must be some interest there, which at that point you can say, I really like you, we should spend time together, and chances are it'll be a good, positive response. Well, here's my variation on that today, and I call it the indirect reference. And I have to tell you, some of you guys have come to me with unsolicited examples of how you've used this and how well it's worked, which has kind of caused me to create a framework around all those examples I've gotten from you guys over the last 6 months or a year, because I got several of them, and it got me to think about this in more detail. So what's going on here? Well, what you're doing is you're not telling the woman that you're interested in her per se, or that you find her particularly attractive, or that you want to go out with her, at least not right now. What you're doing is you're kind of making a general reference to, say, wanting to find a girlfriend, or finding it fun and interesting to go out with women you find attractive. So an example would be if you're in a conversation with a woman and it's an interesting venue, like a place where a lot of pretty women are or a lot of pretty women work, and you're talking to one of them, you may say, hey, you know what? I really like this bar. I really like this place. You know what? I think I'm probably going to meet my future wife here. Now, what that does is, just like the half step, you'll find that the woman you're talking to will either engage that comment or deflect away from it. If she deflects away from it, then it's a topic she doesn't want to discuss with you. And you know what? She's probably not interested in whether or not you find your future wife or not, let alone whether your future wife might possibly be her. But if she responds in a more playful way, like, hey, what would it take to be your future wife who you meet here? Or, hey, you know what? What's wrong with me as a future wife? Then, man, that is such a clear buying signal. In fact, any way a woman engages in that involves her talking about herself would absolutely positively be a clear buying signal indeed. Another example that I've always liked, that I've actually used for years, is when you're out and about with a woman and you want to avoid the dreaded, oh, I have a boyfriend dilemma, and kind of put that objection on the table before she can give you that answer later when you ask her for a number, is sometime in the middle of the conversation, even if low-level flirting is going on, you're just simply acknowledging that she's female and she's acknowledging back that she's talking to a guy. You would say something like, oh, man, that's so annoying. That must drive your boyfriend nuts when you do that. And then again, you'd simply pay attention to how she responds. If she deflects away or says, yeah, you know what, he really loves me and thinks I'm great and he would never be annoyed, well, then she probably has a boyfriend, and or she's probably just not particularly interested in you. If, on the other hand, she responds by saying, oh, I don't even have a boyfriend, then voila, there you go. You've got the answer you already needed as to whether she's single or not, and you proceed accordingly. Guys, these are just a couple examples of how you can talk about your general interest in finding a woman and or bringing up a subject that allows you to find out the information you need about a woman, for example, whether she's single or not, right, before you go ahead and ask her out. Guys, this is pure gold. Go out and use it today when you talk to women and write me and let me know what your results are. And by all means, if you come up with other excellent examples of how to use the indirect reference, let me know those as well. In fact, you can write me if you want to talk about this or anything else at scott@mountaintoppodcast.com. Be good out there.
As always, visit mountaintoppodcast.com for more.